child or an adult, we evaluate them and we look beyond just getting a pair of eyeglasses to see, or beyond the fact that you have an eye disease, maybe a glaucoma, which is definitely important. But we look at how you're functioning. Because if you get those glasses and it makes you get headaches, you're not going to function very well. So we prescribe a little differently and we treat a little differently. And then we offer this service to those in need. So whatever we can do in order to get grants or funding, so those who need glasses and don't have funds to get them, that's what we try to do. In our program book, you can kind of take a look at it when you get a chance and look at the accomplishments of what we did for 2016 since the last benefit. So without further ado, I want to recognize our students, and several of them are not able to attend, but they're still going to get their recognition and their award. So I'm going to still call their names. And those that are here, so some of the kids were able to attend, and the children don't know that they're getting this recognition until they get here and they see their name in the program. So it's a real surprise for them. So what I'm going to ask is, as I call their name, if they're here, I want them to come up with their parent and just stand up here so we can receive them. I want to recognize our staff, and our staff raise our hand. And it's really appreciate, and then our former staff too. So we have our former vision therapists up here too. So I'm going to have them at the end come up too, because they're still there to support us. So currently, I think we have 2 staff members that are here, and they're going to join us in presenting these awards. And I think I have one of our therapists, Denise David, and our home vision therapist, Angela. Yeah, oh, there she is. So they will come up and help us present the awards to the children, because I don't think any other therapists could make it today. So for our first awardee is Celeste Boutron. And Celeste's mom just called and she's not able to make it here today, but I wanted to mention something about Celeste. Celeste is a product of a program that we are part of with Chicago Public Schools. And we act as a resource, so children who are referred from vision therapy as a result of this mobile vision program, those children are able to come to Plano if they can't afford the services and receive it at a reduced fee. So Celeste is a product of that, and she definitely acknowledges that on our website. If you ever go to our website, you can see her mom did a wonderful job in writing about that, and it's also in our program book. The next awardee is, I don't think Emmanuel is Emmanuel Galvez here? No. Okay, so I didn't think he's not here. So, and Lindsay, she's not here. So, Lindsay nor Emmanuel are here today. So we're going to make sure that they get their awards. So we do have Daniel Sanchez. So, no? Oh, I think, no, they're not here either. Oh, so 3 of them did tell me they weren't going to be able to make it here. But we do have a couple of the kids here today. And I want to call out first. Okay, Mark and his dad. Merrick. Isn't your mom there too? There she comes, okay. Yes, it takes it's a whole thing. It's a lot, as Anthony is telling you, because not only do the children come in once or twice a week for vision therapy, but their parents have a lot of work to do at home with them every day too. Oh, your sister's coming too, wonderful, okay. Okay. right. Will Kenneth come down with his line?
Hi everyone, we're really honored to receive this award. Maxine was in vision therapy twice a week for, I don't know, a while. She has dyslexia, and it was a very powerful experience for her to see her effort change her experience of reading. And it was a really empowering experience. You could see her confidence change as she went through the vision therapy process. And she described it as fun. You know, there was a lot of support in the community. She did not dread going at all. This was not a painful process. So we're really grateful to Dr. Stephanie right down the street. And we made sure we got there. We think it's a great service to the community, and we're really grateful to be part of the group.
Next on the agenda, Community Service Award. Sandra Williams is our presenter for this award, our board member, and it is being presented to Catherine Stafford Hudson. As we are preparing to do this, we should note that we do have an online item that is being bid on, the Larry Fitzgerald jersey. It is currently at $1,005. And that particular item, the bidding closes at 9 o'clock this evening. Sandy.
Thank you, Natalie. Most of you are familiar with the African proverb, it takes a village to raise a child. So when I was asked to present Plano's Community Service Award to Catherine Stafford Hudson, I was immediately reminded of this proverb. Catherine's passion for community organizing and her dedication to service collectively have been instrumental in improving the lives of our village's most vulnerable population, children. While she's not literally raising our children, her innovation and leadership as the project manager in the Office of Student Health and Wellness for the Chicago Public Schools has enabled the office to form needed partnerships with optical industry organizations, resulting in both an in-school and mobile vision-based program. This program provides comprehensive vision exams and eyeglasses to over 46,000 public schools annually. Catherine's sense of community has endeared her not only to us here at Plano, but she recently was selected as the recipient of Vision Monday's 2016 Most Influential Woman in Optical Award. Congratulations, Catherine, and with great anticipation, Plano looks forward to expanding the boundaries of this village with you.
Well, first I would like to say thank you. I am truly honored and I feel blessed to even be here today. Little does CPS know that this is the kind of job that is an assignment to me. I feel like it's a purpose and it's my purpose. And little do they know that they wouldn't even have to pay me to do this job. So just don't tell them that I ever said anything like that. But I feel so blessed to be here. I feel honored to be here, and it does take everybody. I've been doing vision in one form or another for 13 years, and God whispered something in my spirit, and He said every child would see. And this was before we did vision services at CPS or knew about any of the conditions that our children had. So over the course of the last 13 years, I've been prodding, I've been going, and we've been going and working toward this, to see 46,000 students seen every single school year, to know that we have 15% of those students that have visual disorders and need vision therapy or some other specialty care to be better, to help students come out of special ed back into regular classrooms because we've addressed their visual needs is phenomenal. And then to be able to help other communities do the same thing is truly living a purpose-driven life. I mean, I always like to say that God has been there. He has been a really blessing to me. I feel that it is my faith, and every time that we need something, magically and spiritually, it happens for us. So again, I just like to thank Plano for always being there. I hope to be that structure that and the passion to keep me staying here for the next 30 years and continue to do this, because I truly believe that every child will see, and that God truly gives you the desires of your heart. So, and the desire of my heart is for every child to see. And so Plano has been instrumental in this. I truly thank you for this honor. And that's it. Thank you so much.
And our next item is our Founders Award, being presented by Linda Ford to a dear friend of Plano, Mr. William Lee.
It's my honor and my pleasure to be the one selected to say a few words about Mr. Little. Of course, I didn't know I was doing this until maybe about 5 minutes ago because Stephanie neglected to tell me. So these are truly heartfelt words. Some people are blind to the world around them, never seeing the plight of those less fortunate than themselves. Other people see and understand the social injustices in the world, but choose not to act to alleviate the injustices they see. A select, extraordinary few not only see clearly the social inequities in our world, these very, very special individuals choose to act without being asked while disclaiming any praise for their work. Mr. Little is one of the hidden angels of our world. He exemplifies compassion and justice. His presence has shined a light on so many children who will flourish as they go on in life and never ever know his name. On their behalf, I am humbled and honored to be able to say, Mr. William Little, I thank you. I thank you. And this is a plaque for the Founders Award of Distinction. And I don't know if this plaque or anything else can be enough to let you know how extraordinary your help and the way in which you've modeled how other people should be. It has been a humbling and enriching experience for over 20 years to partner with you as one of Plano's main supporters. You are to be applauded as a pro-business advocate and job creator who has dedicated his life to improving economic conditions as the chairman of the board of Quam-Nichols Company and the U.S. Chamber of Commerce Foundation.
Well, I'm certainly honored with this wonderful and very thoughtful award, but let me say, I can't imagine more pleasure in receiving it from anybody but my longtime friend, Linda Ford. I've been an admirer of Linda's for years and years and years, and it makes this award particularly special to me. Thank you very much.
And now, the Lifetime Service Award is being presented by Dr. McCrae, our photographer. Dr. McCrae.
Dr. McCrae.
Leave the camera.
Ms. Davis, come on up. And while she's coming, I'd like all of the staff of Plano Athletics, Plano Child and Graduate Center, and Vision Health Management Systems to stand. Ms. Davis, you're being awarded because you have spent a half a lifetime servicing these corporations. You see Dr. Stephanie out front all of the time. You see many of the staff out, but you very seldom see Ms. Davis out. She's the one who stays behind the scenes, working hard and diligently, making sure that bills get paid and forms are filled out, applications are completed, the corporation stays a corporation. She's the one that has been doing that for how many years? Only 25 years, she says. But without Ms. Davis, we wouldn't have an organization of the type that we have now. The late Robert L. Johnson had her as his right hand, and sometimes left hand also. And for a while, we had it also, but she's retired now, halfway. We keep pulling her back because we have to keep asking her questions. But that's Ms. Davis. She's always trying to help someone, anyone that she can, she wants to help them. And this Lifetime Service Award presented to Addie P. Davis says, for your dedication as the go-to person in helping Plano founders, staff, and board members, and for your invaluable role in efficiently managing the business operations of our organization for over 30 years. Plano Child Development Center, October 7th, 2016.
Dr. Robert Johnson got me in this position. After teaching high school for 10 years, I was ripped. That means somebody had to go, and I was the lowest person in the department, so I went. However, I got called back, but by then, Dr. Johnson said, well, why don't you just stay here and don't go back to school? And of course, I listened. And the next day, I hate I listened. But I had said yes then. Anyway, it's been a pleasure. I've done some of everything you can name to run the organization, from mopping the floors, cleaning the bathrooms, everything. That almost examines some eyes. I did threaten to do it. I only threatened to do it. I never did it, but I did threaten because I have some slow people. Very slow people that work there, and the people would, I don't understand how some people will just wait on the doctor. That female doctor especially. They wait for her, and I mean they love her because she get in there and she can really talk, and so they really love her. But I have threatened to go in and do the exam, but I didn't do it. But everything else there, I did. Everything. So when the person comes to me and say, well, that's not my job, I said, well, you work here, right? You get a check, right? Okay. So it is, if I ask you to do it, it's your job. So, okay, thank you very much. And I don't know how many more times I'll be called, but if I'm called, I will answer.
And I think Kim has another envelope for you back there, but she gave it to you.
No.
She doesn't have it for you, okay? Well, we have two cards for you. One card is from the Plano Board of Directors Foundation, and we have one from Plano Optometrics and Vision Health Management System, because under that one building, we really do have 3 corporations, and she handled them all as our beloved jack of all trades, right? And master of all.
No, I don't like that.
Okay, we love you, Mrs. Davis, and on behalf of the staff, we have these roses to present to you, and we have a gift of notes. So when you are bored and you want to open up this little box, it has a lot of cards in it with our words of love in it, and we want to present this to you. And on behalf of the staff, we do also have some former vision therapy staff that definitely didn't want to miss it today, and I asked for one volunteer from our former staff, and Kim Grooms did volunteer to be the one to come up to say some kind words to you. Where is she? She said, where is Kim?
Hello everyone, my name is Kim Broom, and I started at Plano in about 1990. I was fresh out of optometric class. I graduated on a Friday and I started working for Plano on a Monday. And the first person I met was Dr. Stephanie, and she said, "You have a job." So I was really, really happy. And then I met Ms. Davis. Sometimes it was a good experience and sometimes it was not so good. So I just wrote a little something for you, Ms. Davis, and to show you how much your influence has made me grow to the woman I am today. The valuable lessons I learned were, you stated the rules and you were very firm. You enforced the rules and, forget that, I'll just say it out loud. Right? You enforced the rules because you said, and it stuck with me until today, if you signed up for the job, you have to do the job. If you say you're going to do it and you say you're going to be here on time, she really expected you to be on time. I'm like, what's 5 minutes? I'm here, right? And she's like, well, that's not how it goes. You have to be here and have your patients not wait on you. You should be waiting on them when they come to the door. And you should greet them with a smile. I'm like, but I'm here. She says, that is not. And then I'm like, I came in, I guess I'm going to say raggedy looking one day. And she says, that's an unacceptable outfit for work. But I'm here. So a lot of the things that you taught me, Ms. Davis, I carried on. And now when I became a supervisor, I'm like, oh, that dress code is not the one that's standard for here. So I found myself repeating all the things that I learned from you. And I became a corporate woman, and I modeled my efforts after you. I now own my own company. I followed the rules you set in place for me. I've had employees, and I've learned how to treat them, and the rules are firm and they're set. When she says they're set, they're set. I remember one incident, it was like, we got off at 8 o'clock, that's p.m. And she said, I said, well, I'm gone because, you know, it's 8 o'clock. She said, well, the job isn't done until the job is finished. So I just wanted to say, Ms. Davis, your job is finished. Thank you.
All right, my friends, a couple of announcements. We have a winning bid for the Larry Fitzgerald jersey. And I believe she may be here. But I don't remember her name. Okay, Crystal's gonna get it now. Tracy Jones. People are clapping. Congratulations. We also need to announce that there are 10 minutes until the silent auction is closed and the small raffle is closed. So you all have 10 minutes to go and check, make those final bids, make them big so nobody else can get what you want. And we'll continue to move forward at this time with remarks from our chairman of our board of directors. And Mr. Little too. And Mr. Little, we want you to speak again too. Al Pritchard. Okay, we would also like the small raffle people to come around. Caitlin, come on around and sell some more tickets. Make sure everybody has their tickets for the small raffle, baby.
Thank you very much. I am pleased to be here tonight, and I'm so pleased that we're here to honor people like Addie Davis, who really, you know, how people say those things about, well, somebody runs it. Truth of the matter, and I don't say this as a joke, Addie ran it. And I think everybody knows that without Addie Davis, this would not have been a successful effort. Stephanie and the rest of her staff do an outstanding job for these children. This is, and I've said this to people, this is a small program that gets big results. There are a lot of people that don't know much about Plano. There are very well-known organizations in the city of Chicago, far more well-known than Plano, that do a good job. I'm not here to denigrate anybody, but they don't do what Plano does day in and day out with fewer people. Dr. Robert Johnson was an outstanding person, and his partner Henry Moore was an outstanding person. And to pass that kind of behavior on to his daughter Stephanie and the other daughters who assist. This is a great organization, Plano. I came involved with Plano years and years ago, and I won't go through the whole thing. But we have good staff, outstanding staff, and we have good board members. Linda Ford is one of the board members. Other people sitting around here tonight are board members and do an outstanding job. Sandra is a board member. We're committed to this program. When we were meeting the other day, and by the other day I mean a few months ago, and we're trying to determine who should be the honorary chairman. And I said, well, let's have Bill Little. So Steph said, well, a long time ago, you know, Mr. Little, you know, I think was honored, but Mr. Little may not want to do it. I said, Mr. Little will do it, and I know he'll do it, so I'm not even worried. The board members will tell you, I'm not making this up. I said, call him, and he'll do it. And then she told me, she said, yeah, Mr. Little said yes. Of course he would. Bill Little, the humble person who stood before you a few minutes ago, is a guy who owns a company down on Marquette Boulevard that does business all over the world. Bill Little, when he was working with me in a volunteer program that I was involved in, was back and forth to China as much as I go downtown. So we're talking about a guy, folks, University of Missouri Business School, University of Missouri football team that I kid him about a lot, especially this year when they're not doing very well. But he has to remind me that where I went to school and played football at Marquette, they don't even have a football team anymore. I said, but the basketball team is pretty good. The reality, folks, is that there's some outstanding people who do an outstanding job for these children. I mean, we don't go and look for a lot of, you know, great, you know, notoriety or anything, just people doing their job, coming down, sitting over there with Stephanie. You have to come, because down at Plano, when you come, the bell is still not working. You got to make sure at Wednesday nights when we have the meetings, is to bang on the door with a coin so that people hear you coming over the door, because the office is closed. And once we get in and we sit and we talk and we do different things, and the people who are here, who are board members, most of them are women. Most of them are women. We got a few men, but most are women, and they do an outstanding job. So I want you to know that the kind of thing that happens if we will begin to maybe ask other people to come and be involved with us, you know, to help us. I remember going to a meeting once when Richard Daley was the mayor, and he had a meeting with people to talk about how to increase and improve reading in the city of Chicago public schools. And I sat there at that meeting with all of these people from all these outstanding consultant firms, and they were putting forth all of these super involved kinds of things. And I went back and I said to Doc, I said, Doc, I listened to all of that stuff you wanted me to go and do, and I went and I did it. And they're doing all of this stuff. I said, y'all doing more than they're doing, and they're coming down and bringing programs that's going to cost hundreds of thousands of dollars or more. And you're teaching kids more about how to deal with the brain and the recognition and the understanding, and not just whether or not they can see the board, but what does it mean when you see the board? And what are the relationships of the brain to certain kinds of things? And so we began to talk more to the Board of Education. Bill Little, years ago, that's how Bill and Linda met, because of all of the help that Bill used to give monetarily to the school where Linda was the principal. I mean, nobody didn't know newspaper stories about it, just somebody giving a lot of money to help out, and he does it every single year. And I expected. Well, I mean, seriously, you do expect it. And he introduced me tonight to the young man who is now the president of his company. Bill's still the owner, but he's the president. And I said, well, I'm glad to meet you, and I'm sure that you're going to continue doing what you do. Let's be very clear. I'm a boy from Arkansas, like Doc Johnson was from Arkansas. And I grew up in the city of Chicago, didn't have a great deal, don't have a great deal now, but I have some great family, great son-in-law here, my daughter over there, smart people are doing things. But the one thing I learned in paying attention, I know how the game works. And I know how things are supposed to happen. We have to get more involved to help our children. Plano helps the children. Plano helps the children. You folks, it is good to benefit from Plano and programs like Plano, but you got to help them. We have to begin to do more to help programs. We have children today in the streets, walking around, you know. I know how to be very, very formal in how to make certain speeches and everything, but I want to say this. We have children walking around with the pants below their butts. No, that's just being serious. We don't want to duck and dodge that. That's not good. Those children are having problems with understanding certain responsibilities. And we have to begin to understand how those children can be helped. We're not here to knock them around or anything. We're just here to admit there's certain things that have to be done. And there are people in this room who are probably doing a great deal to be helpful. Then begin to get other friends of yours involved in this thing, not just with Plano, but with others, because we have to save our children. Plano is trying to do what he can to save our children. Plano does not make any money. Half the time we cannot get our tax stuff in on time. Right? The other day I was talking to Steffi about it. Steph said, Mr. Pritchard, come on now, we doing okay. I said, and the reason, because we don't have the money. We don't have the money. And a lot of what happens and a lot of what goes on, people are being given services and everything, not totally free of charge, but with a great deal of strain. And we're not looking for any kind of newspaper articles. Not looking for that. What we're looking for is just people to help us help these children. They do an outstanding job. If I take my glasses off right now, you all look fuzzy. When I put my glasses on, after Stephanie said, can you see that, Mr. Pritchard? Can you see this? Can you see this? She's moving fast. I said, Steph, hold on for a minute. Let me see if I can see. These people are good at what they do. They're not advertised on TV. You don't get all of that special kind of thing where these people are making millions and millions of dollars. But when you come out of Plano, you can see. Our children, they not only see, they can think. They can understand. Stephanie has a nephew. I watched him last night catch 2 touchdown passes.
Yes, he did.
For the Arizona Cardinals.
Yes, he did.
Watched him last night. And the thing I really liked about it, and this is, I'm just going to say this and no more on this thing, I liked it because he did what I used to do when I was trying to play football as a halfback. He blocked people coming off the end. Those were the days when tackles didn't block the defensive end. We did it. the halfback. I watched Larry doing that last night, but he can catch the ball. Why? Because he said his grandfather taught him the relationship of the ball to the eyes and certain other kinds of things. And there was a big article in USA Today, or one of the newspapers about it. So these people do a heck of a job. This is not just some fly-by-night little place down on 55th Street. They do a heck of a job. I will now recognize one thing and sit down. My wife, sitting over there, has said over and over and over, Al, you don't know how to put the microphone on. I know that. So what I want to do is to say that a guy who helped me, when we put together, and he may want to talk about it, and he may not, the 911 program for the county of Cook, it never existed. We started from the bottom ground with no money, and Bill was one of the guys on the committee of people that I chaired, and they, every once in a while, they would beat up on it, but mostly they cooperated with everything that I wanted to do, and I appreciated it, and I want to let him just talk about himself a little bit more. Bill Lennon.
I've known Al long enough that I should have realized it wasn't going to be a short introduction. Let me first comment on Plano and my interest in it over these many years. There are all sorts of organizations, endless organizations with wonderful intentions. But Plano is not built on intentions, they're built on delivery, day in and day out over a number of years. That's the reason that you support Plano. As simple as that. They deliver and have for the longest time. Let me comment on the thing that Al touched on, the Cook County Emergency Telephone Service. Al and I became involved in that many years ago as it was just being started. He chaired that board for many years, and the county system was recognized around this country, was certified as one of the outstanding emergency telephone systems in this country, and it was absolutely because of Al's leadership. And I enjoyed getting to know Al. He's somebody that I admire greatly, and what a treat it is to see him here tonight. Let me say also, what a treat to see my friend Linda Ford, who I used to see regularly. We would lunch and we'd talk about the problems and goings on at Brownell School and so on. Talk about dedication and delivery. She was an absolute marvel at that. It's been mentioned that our business is on Marquette Road. Probably everybody recognizes where we are. We're there just west of King Drive as you come under the viaduct. I've got some of my colleagues here tonight. Let me introduce two of them since they were nice enough to come out with me tonight. First, Randy Moore. Randy, stand up if you would, who is who's president of our company, and every bit is committed to where we are and what we do as I am. So I think that our company has a great and exciting future. Secondly, let me introduce a second colleague, a vice president of our company, Denise Fowler. Denise is a little deceiving. She looks like the sweetest young thing you've ever seen here tonight. You should have seen her on the factory floor today. Denise gets stuff done, and she's an important leader of our company, and I'm delighted that she and Donald were able to join you and the rest of us tonight. Now let me mention one other person who for 30 some odd years was the voice of Plum Nichols, and what a lovely surprise to see her. Maritha Aaron, who's here tonight, and a great friend of mine over decades and decades and decades. It turns out that if you come to work in Plum Nichols, you'll likely stay there a very long time, right, Maritha? We've prospered there, we'll continue to prosper there, and we will continue to support things in the community that are important. That's our commitment. Now, there's one thing that I know full well. I am keeping you from the Cubs game. So, with with that clear understanding, the last time we looked, there was no score in the third inning. So I'll say something, I'll show you something that you won't often see. You will see an introduction that was longer than the speech that was introduced. But that's okay, Alan. That's okay. So lovely to be with you. A lovely evening. See familiar faces, old friends, and go Plano.
Hey now.
Thank you so much. Before we close and our band comes back, and we have a dance floor. Did you notice? So we have dancing, those of you who want to. But I think Natalie wanted to announce something about the silent auction first. And I wanted to just do a short presentation to some people that really, really are well deserved. But before that,
Ladies and gentlemen, please come and check your bids on the silent auction. You have 2 minutes. If there's something you really, really, really want, this would be the time to go and make your best bid.
okay, while people are doing that, I want to acknowledge our event chairs, Reverend Michael Burnside and Natalie Henderson Ray. Welcome.